Hello, family and friends. It is October 17th, Friday night. It is the night before the No Kings protest, which I think is supposed to be pretty chill. But I think that because it is being called things like Antifa, it's going to be a shit show. But before we get into that, let's talk about all the ways you've been manipulated today. Welcome back, Dr. Leslie, here to just tell you how all of the media and social media is manipulating you and every person you're probably talking to. So let's talk about legal things. Okay. People are really running with that Taylor Swift basically had Nazi merchandise and that it was taken down off her website. I think it was actually just probably sold out. They're lightning bolts. Lightning bolts are so popular. I mean, look at Aviator Nation, an amazing brand. Lightning bolts it's not like a call to like white supremacy, but everyone's really running with that. I don't know. There's like a real hate Taylor campaign going on right now. Um, I think maybe because she finally like wasn't overly produced and showed her personality. But I'm just gonna say I think you're kind of like getting into the conspiracy, and that lightning bolts have been really popular since the 90s, and that's kind of where she is emotionally stuck, anyways. So it would make sense. Anyways, let's throw that one out. I did see some clips of Army Hammer on Pierce Morgan, and yeah, I think he's a cannibal. I mean, I think he was just straight up lying in the interview when he was asked by Pierce if he was a cannibal. I mean, he sat back in his chair, his jaw tightened, he was drinking water, he looked very uncomfortable. He looked like he almost like bit his tongue or his lip at one point. He had rehearsed lines, his emotions changed significantly. He restated things back to Pierce that were scripted. There were so many elements where it did not appear to be natural at all. It appeared like he was really, really hiding things and that he is a very, very disturbing person sexually. Very disturbing. And that is what I've seen in many of his victims who have come forward and talked about him. So, anyways, that was creepy. I'm not sure why he's doing around on Pierce if he's trying to like promote something. Again, you're being manipulated. Why is he getting space right now? Why is he getting airtime? Something is to come or something is to be covered, right? Covered over? I don't know. BTK style? I don't know. Is he going to turn people into furniture and their skin? I don't know. Something is weird about that fucking guy. Denise Richards went to court today, and then her ex got arrested like after court. He's demanding more money from her. He's demanding half her OnlyFans payment. Yeah, that's a nice guy. What a win. Let me take half your OnlyFans. Get money's money to these people. They don't care where it comes from. Dirty money's still money, right? Good or bad, at least they're still talking. I thought about Harry and Meghan Markle today because last week they said that they were doing this partnership with Project Healthy Minds, and that's to protect children from online dangers and protect their mental health. But it was kind of like, wait, this is kind of coming out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden, Virginia Giuffre's book comes out, and it's about Epstein, and it's about how Prince Andrew abused her, seriously abused her when she was a child, and ongoing. She got a big settlement out of that. Her family got a settlement out of that. And today he was oddly stripped of his titles. So the royal family, who typically just buries everything, couldn't bury this. But it's an interesting play that just a week prior, Harry and Meghan were in the PR publicity world, taking the limelight, wanting to look good, right? Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I am in Montecito and people just shit talk on Megan and Montecito. They are always saying like, God, girl, like, why don't you do something good? Why don't you just like show up? Like, why don't you be a part of this community? We're all just fucking billionaires. Come hang out with us. I guess that was her way of doing something good, but it's a week before. Everyone knew this book was coming out. Everyone on the inner circle knew the book was coming out as well. So, anyways, look for that book because it is juicy. The Epstein Tower is falling. The billionaires will be named. The chef Adam Langley will be held accountable for making food for everyone on that island. It's happening. It's happening slowly. It's happening carefully. It's happening strategically. But people have names, people have proof, people have evidence, and each individual story is finding a way to best come out. I would imagine we will see more and more of the people who hung with Epstein and harmed children stepping down before they are called out in the public before their companies, before their legacies are completely ruined. But let's hope they're still ruined. And let's hope there are still some fucking consequences for these child diddlers. Moving on, we still haven't heard the audio of the Lively Baldoni recorded Sarowitz tape where he basically was like comparing this ridiculous American celebrity lawsuit to Hamas and saying that there were going to be two dead bodies, Ryan and Blake, at the end of this. Again, oh, wait, this is a super religious guy, right? If we're religious, we can't. Yeah, it's okay to make death threats like that. Yeah, if you're religious. Yeah. If you're in a cult, that's just kind of like Scientology. So, anyways, yeah, that release is going to come, but they can't figure out a way to do it because everything is outdated in the judicial system in America. Like all of the fucking laws, especially the ones about coercive controls. They said that they were going to provide the clerk. I ask you, who has a CD player nowadays? Now, I have one in my car. Well, it's got TVs in it, so it plays DVDs, but maybe it would play a CD. I don't know. If you want it, you have to actually go to the courthouse. You imagine like the small courthouse and this poor clerk who is now not getting paid because of the government shutdown. They're not even going to fucking be there now at this point when a bunch of TikTokers are going to go in asking for a CD just to validate their own perception of things when they really don't give a fuck about the people that they're talking to or talking about. I think it's just utterly ridiculous. It's going to be a recording of a man being threatening and saying he doesn't like people and that he's willing to do bad things to people. Or it's going to be a man of this billionaire, basically saying, like, sign a contract, don't do this so that I can help you do this. I mean, he's a billionaire. He knows how to move money and make deals. And it's going to sound probably like he's being controlling and horrible because he probably is. So there's no big surprise, but everyone's like freaking out and has their like panties all twisted up over this. My God, the world's falling apart. It's October. This trial's in March. Like, take a chill pill. What is everyone going to do after this case? I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the government. Yes, tomorrow is No Kings protest. This is interesting because you can tell that the Republicans on TV have been given talking points. Democrats are given talking points too. CNN and NBC, they're given talking points. Now, it's just, I guess it's just a lot of the Fox News talking points coming out because they're all the same. I think they're kind of panicking. I don't think they really realized how big the protests were going to be tomorrow. So, like, so many people have said that anyone who protests tomorrow is in Antifa. Anyone who protests tomorrow, they hate America or they're pro Hamas. I have to tell you, or they're Democrat. I have to tell you, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm going to go out tomorrow. I'm going to go out tomorrow and I'm going to go safely. I'm not pro Hamas. I love America and I'm not Antifa. So these talking points that they just throw together are just utterly ridiculous and transparent. What I love are those fucking TikTok accounts, Instagram accounts where guys are going out and they're like questioning the MAGA supporters and they're saying, what does your shirt say? Why do you support Trump? Blah, blah, blah. And then they're saying, can you name any part of the government? Do you have any understanding of the actual government? And they literally look like their IQs are 95, maybe that's high, 85. They don't have any education, probably not even like a fifth grade level. They don't understand Columbus. I mean, they don't understand how America was even formed. Now, I'm not saying I understand it fully, but they just sound like really fucking morons all the time on these little TikToks. I know they're edited very nicely and cleanly, but wow, it's really a lot right now. It's really playing into the narrative of anyone who follows MAGA has a low IQ and anyone who doesn't has a higher IQ because they have the ability to see that. But again, you're being manipulated by the media and we're seeing what we're being forced to see. I'm in California. I'm being manipulated by what is in my algorithm, by what I am seeing. When I go search out things other than what's pointed towards Californians, some things are very different. So I go and analyze all of that and I'm trying to figure out where I stand on it all. And I sure as fuck don't stand on either side. And I sure as fuck don't stand on Trump's side. So an estimated 20 million people plus. I mean, I think if we get over 28 million protesting tomorrow, it'll be the biggest in American history. So it'll be fairly interesting. The registration online, it's massive. And again, like I've been saying, it's utterly terrifying. It's terrifying that people are going to know where you will be. You've registered. People will know where you will be. They will know how many of you will be there. States are calling in the National Guard. States are in a state of emergency. California is in a state of emergency because of the ICE raids and likely because of this tomorrow. So even though these are peaceful protests and there was already one that was a peaceful protest, Trump doesn't want to see it that way. So let's agitate everyone tomorrow. Let's call in authorities and make people feel like they have to fight to stand their ground. Let's just lead. God, he just wants to use the insurrection. Please, people who are smarter than him, please get together and figure this shit out because I don't know the law well enough to help with any of this shit. I have heard that JD Vance is going to do something out of the Oceanside military base. I'm not really sure, but California is supposed to have like some kind of random military show because of the anniversary and as a distraction. Oceanside's really far away, like hundreds of miles from Los Angeles, but the 5 freeway was going to be shut down for this. I don't really understand what the plan is. I cannot believe that people who run the strongest, most powerful country in the entire world tweet random fucking shit all day. That's not even fucking true. And that's on both sides, ranting about things. Where is the professionalism? They're sitting in hoodies ranting about things. There are typos. There are so many typos and grammatical errors and repetitive words and sentences. And then, God, mix up your talking points. If you're going to have the main people like Mike Johnson, Trump, Caroline Levitt saying things, mix it up. It doesn't have to be the exact script. I mean, it's like fairly obvious, unless you think that people can't handle a diverse script. What does that say about the people listening to you? Anyways, Trump continues to ignore the Supreme Court. He's ignoring the Supreme Court in Illinois, and they seem like they are getting pissed. And I just want to, again, tell you all that Trump was on the cover of Time magazine, and he definitely made a comment about how his hair looks like a crown, and he did not comment about how his neck looked like a labia of a vagina. Grab them by their pussy. Literally, it looks like a mature adult woman vagina. So if anyone's ever curious, just pull up Trump on Times. I feel like that's going to make everyone just want men and only men. So the government is still shut down. It's utterly ridiculous. And it's all because they don't want to swear in the Democrat who would then sign over for the Epstein files. I really don't think it's about healthcare anymore because if it was, they would be having a conversation, but people aren't actually showing up and talking and people aren't answering their phones, yet they want to manipulate you so that you think they are. So they're on TV. They're on TV. They're doing podcasts. Now, what needs to happen is when Mike Johnson is booked to be on CNN, is booked to be on Fox, that's when people need to come and question him and say, sign us in, sign her in, sign Adelita in. We know where you are. You're not answering your phone, but you're showing up places to appear like you're available and that you're not ignoring people. Again, we are being manipulated. There is another manipulation. It's not significant, but we're not taking the time to step back and look at it. The government shutdown is going to start fucking with more things. So courthouses are going to be understaffed now. People will be sitting in jail for crimes they might not have committed. We arrest a lot of people in America and then we sort it out afterwards, right? So people are just going to sit longer. And most of these jails in America are fucking nightmares, horrible places. And now people are going to be utterly traumatized. Like, sure, cool. If you did it, good for you. Sit in jail, rot. I don't care. But a lot of people didn't do things and they're wrongly arrested. And now they're just going to sit because the jails are understaffed and they can't book courts and they don't have judges. And it's going to be a hot mess, which may also play into why the Lively Baldoni tape is not coming out or the CD, whatever. And Trump released George Santos, the New Yorker who stole a bunch of money from everyone. Yeah, so he's going to get out. Let's see. I guess Trump will probably just release Ghislaine Maxwell and probably Diddy next. Nice. We're showing a nice pattern here. Yeah, you see it, right? You see the pattern. And Trump met with Zelensky today, the Ukrainian president, and wow, it was awkward. One of the most awkward parts for me, knowing veterans and knowing individuals with PTSD, was that Zelensky's back was towards all of the reporters. He couldn't see them. This is a war president. The trauma he has endured is so fucking significant. I cannot believe that he was in that position. Now, do they lack enough education and understanding to not put him with his back towards all of these reporters who are literally putting their hands on the back of his chair? The utter disrespect of the bitch wearing this red suit. Someone tell me who she is. A red suit, tits out, giant cross, and she's got her hand over the chair next to Zelensky, like leaning over towards him. Sorry, this is a wartime. And then Trump and all the fucking people are sitting there with plates in front of them like they're going to have like lunch. When this guy wants Tomahawk missiles, this guy wants to go defend his country and save people that are being killed. And you've got out your finest china to feed him. Like what fucking world are we living in? He basically offered, he was being so careful. I respect that man so much. He offered to exchange drones, and Trump, like, quickly shut that down, saying we have drones. Like, he didn't want to appear biased, of course, because now he's got to go talk to Putin. But it was such an uncomfortable environment. That man, Zelensky, he should win the Nobel Peace Prize. He should be the one. Look what he has done for his country, and look how he continues to fight for them. He has been a solid figure, leader, rock. Just want Putin to stop. And of course, Trump did discuss building a tunnel from I think it was the Bering Strait to Alaska. We're going to link Russia to America. Now, was this a symbolic gesture of cooperation, or was this literally like, hey, you are a war criminal. Let me just bend over and you can lick my ass. Just do it right now, lick my ass. The manipulation that is going on is just so significant. And I do believe Trump is being manipulated himself by very, very intelligent, psychopathic world leaders. I think America is going to start a war against Venezuela. I'm not entirely sure. I don't even think Venezuelans have like a military, but that was in the news a lot today. So let's see where that goes. So let's pay attention again to how you were manipulated today. The media and the news offers you a bunch of shock, but it's scarce. So you pay attention, right? Manipulation tactic. There's plenty of online projection into all of these celebrity lives, and it's probably because people don't want to look at their own lives. That says everything. And then remember, what is hidden is far more fucking impactful than what you're actually seeing. What is happening behind the scenes so much. They don't need to. Celebrities, politicians, the government, they don't need to tell you shit. And why are they telling you shit? Because they want you to know that shit. Why do they want you to know that shit? Because they don't want you to know the other shit. Pay attention to the algorithms. Pay attention to what you are being fed. Pay attention to the fact that you're being fed negative things that are going to amplify your own negative emotions. And then you're going to pick sides that align with how you're feeling. And they're going to present people on TV in certain ways in order to get you to align yourself with them. But I think the biggest thing to remember is that distraction is a defense. Distraction is a defense. But what are these distractors defending themselves from? If you're going out tomorrow to protest, be safe. Anticipate that you could get gassed. Anticipate you could get pepper sprayed. Keep food and water with you. Buddy system, let people know where the fuck you are. And if your intuition tells you that it is dangerous, get the hell out of there, because your life is not worth standing up for this tomorrow. Go ahead and make an attempt. I hope it works, but don't get stuck and don't harm yourself or harm anyone else. That's what they want. Happy Friday, y'all. Catch you later.